all, it's Kelvin here. So, for those of you who don't know, Discord have changed how they handle quote-unquote sensitive content as of the time of writing. This is only in the UK and in Australia, but the implication is that a wider rollout is intended once testing data has been returned. There are a number of problems we have with this. Firstly, this means that, so first, obviously, the sensitive content filtering that this is supporting is has some problems with it, because this requires Discord to feed every single picture posted through an algorithm to look for that content. That's an algorithm that has no clearly laid out working method for end users. There's no way of knowing how it does that, what it does with any data collected, if data is anonymized at all, who has accessed that data, what the algorithm is looking for, right? So it's easy enough to test some of the limits for what is filtered for end users, So we've managed to piece together something of a reasonable idea as to what nudity is looked for, but we don't want to test gore, for example, and we certainly aren't good enough artists to test the limits when it comes to artistic nudity or nudity in drawings or paintings or anything like that. So yes, and of course gore is a dangerous thing to test, for example, right? And most areas outside of nudity are much easier to end up breaking terms of service and like as well. So generally a poor idea to be testing. And there's of course have serious concerns that if their pictures are not anonymized or data from them is not anonymized, this would mean that Discord or some of its employees or anyone else who manages to get access to that data through whatever means could, trace back who's posting quote-unquote sensitive images, and that's then a global effect, not just a effect on British and Australian users, despite the fact that, this is a change that's only been shown at all to British and Australian users directly, and we don't expect this to be the case, but it is possible that flagged images are accessible to some of Discord's staff in some way or another, or other people, malicious actors who've gained access to Discord's data records directly, and this might mean that someone is being directly, that someone in Discord or a malicious user or a malicious actor could effectively be fed quote-unquote sensitive images directly to a data store of their own so they can look through them, which are likely to be pictures that are very limited audience intended, and would potentially make for good blackmail material or similar, right, or otherwise severely impact users' privacy. It's also quite possible that some quote-unquote sensitive images are immediately being sent to other organisations, even images that are not flagged as sensitive potentially, or it's something that's something that could easily be set up potentially as well. So for example, if their filters are looking for drug paraphernalia, or they know how to look for drug paraphernalia, it would not necessarily be particularly difficult to set up something that forwards those images as well as known users' IDs, which would include an IP address if nothing else, to the local police department. And of course, from an ID perspective, we have serious problems. There's no justifiable reason for Discord to need photo ID. This is evident, in our opinion, when you consider other services. So, for example, we can verify our identity well enough for our bank to be happy, for us to, apply for loans, pay out money to other accounts, set up direct debits from an app on our phone, without the need for photo ID. Adult-only sites have never, do not require ID, photo ID. So Discord, being neither an adult-only space or a financial institution has realistically no reason to need photo ID. Um, that and so while they claim that you know this information is immediately deleted, that you do still require because it's kept record of that someone has provided their ID. There is still a record that even if they are telling the truth and the immediate data is immediately destroyed upon verification, right? That is still then some a record that someone is of a certain age and has otherwise verified their ID along with their user Discord and account ID, right? And of course, it means that your ID and a picture of your face have to be sent over the internet along with your Discord account ID. And while internet traffic is generally encrypted, it is an unnecessary transfer of sensitive data for no real reason, and it is data that will have to be stored at both ends at least temporarily, right? And so you're adding unnecessary risks without any for end users without any gain to them, which is, in our opinion, firmly immoral. As such, with these changes, we are going to be deleting our Discord account and moving entirely to Revolt for the things that we used to use Discord for. It's a shame that this is needed, but moving to an open source option is probably for the best regardless of the point of changeover. And requesting ID is a line we cannot accept. We will link our new public server on Revolt in the description. This system signing out. Hope to catch you all next week. Please do remember to like, subscribe, comment, especially if you've got any questions you want answered. Be happy to answer them either in the comments or in another video. So catch you all next week.